I couldn't even. I couldn't watch the whole thing. I had to
Yeah.
stop watching it.
Also, how are you gonna do Wayne's World without Wayne and Garth?
Garth. Yeah.
Like, it's peanut
Garth
butter
is
and
the
jelly.
funniest thing about that.
If you guys don't do your cameras, I don't
No,
do
no,
mine.
I'm on camera. I just was like, I was messing with stuff.
I literally can't do my camera, but we
I
are
can
You
see that.
say
live.
You
that
keep
every
trying.
time, but I'm
It's
just
trying though.
Do you see
But
the
I've
little
just
blue triangles going?
I've just been convinced that you're just not really Ken.
I am convinced of the same thing.
Listen, I am Ken. I do Crook Irish. I love Barbie. But
You should do a whole episode like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that's the best idea we've had all day.
Anyway, we're all best friend now. How
The
about
next time that we do a whole episode that has anything to do with like shapeshifters or some type of like imposter monster or something like that, you should do the whole episode in a fake Russian accent.
yes, great idea, comrade. I too love hamburger and Mickey Mouse. Um,
In communist Russia, we get Adidams, not Adidas.
can you give me nuclear code now, since we are best friend?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that murder.
Too bad neither of us can do a Donald Trump impression.
Oh, it's too. It's can't. It just. I actually. I think I can. I just don't want to try.
I. What does he say all the time? It's like,
It's huge. It's big. No, I can't even do it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can't even remember what he says
No.
because that's how much space Donald Trump takes up in my mind.
All I can think is you're fired, and that was like from like 20 years ago.
He's a has-been president, wannabe
He really
actor.
is. Yeah, yeah. Reagan was a better actor and a better president. Oh
Yeah.
God, he was.
So was
Jesus.
Paddington. But all right, what are we doing today,
was
special guest Alex?
We're doing the history of Halloween. Because every year on October 31st, we got ghouls, ghosts, goblins, and vampires that roam the earth. But how come we celebrate them with adoration? Why do we demand sweets? And why is pumpkin spice a thing? Why is pumpkin spice a thing?
Yeah,
But
that's it.
join us tonight on this spooky episode of Crook and Murder as we delve into the history of Halloween. I am special guest Alex.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is why I'm kind of glad we fucked up the announcement
Yeah,
because we forgot introductions right off the bat.
yeah.
That's why I said I'm special guest Alex. Who are
Yeah.
you two?
Yeah. I'm Maxwell Murder, and this is not the 28th of October.
This I'm Kenny Crook Irish Kirby, and yeah, that's just you may know me as the guy who you think spent all weekend playing fucking Spider-Man 2, but you'd be wrong. I also watched Loki.
No, they wouldn't.
Max, damn it, Alex, I don't just sit around and play Spider-Man all day. I don't. That's not me.
I
Mm,
think you did this weekend.
Hold on. Listen. All right, I have proof that I didn't. I also watched Loki.
Hey, you know what? I took your advice on something, Kirby. I
What's
watched Secret Invasion.
Oh, what'd you think of Secret Invasion?
It's fucking awesome.
I liked it. It's
I
very.
thought, oh God, it's Nick Fury at his best.
Will say I really liked it up until no, I really liked it except for the final battle between what's her name and the other dude.
Oh, I liked
for whatever reason that final fight just did not do it for me.
Oh, I loved it. I loved that like, she used her own powers against, or the powers against him.
I honestly can't even remember how it ended, but I'm sure it's it's technically still a secret invasion in my mind.
Yeah. I just want to say this because we're kind of sidetracked. So Aaron and I started creating a comic book, and it's called Pete Spiderman. Actually, it's called Spider Jew. Oh God, I said that out loud.
Wow.
I won't go into detail. He shoots massive ropes, though. We'll say that.
So let's start talking about what we came here for tonight. the origins of Halloween. When society was first forming in the Celtic regions, all the Celtic folks acknowledged November 1st as the beginning of their new year. This day not only marked the end of summer and harvest collection, but it also signaled the coming of winter, a season typically associated with death.
Dun dun
On
dun.
October 31st, the night before the new year, the Celts believed the veil between the living and the dead were almost non existent. Same thing with Mexico, or near
Yeah.
that time.
I don't know. I don't know when the Day of the Dead is, but it's. I don't think it's
It's
actually
not
Halloween.
October 31st, I
Yeah.
don't think.
I
But
thought you were implying that Mexico is non-existent.
no, 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 no,
like,
no.
You're like same
Mexico
thing as
definitely
Mexico.
100% exists. They're
Oh my
coming
God.
over our borders.
It can be
Uh,
anywhere between the first, the second, the 31st. Oh, I don't even know. Never mind.
um, thus, they celebrated, they being the Celts, Samhain, summer's end, the roots of Halloween, which signaled the end of a journey for those that died during the year. That's quite sweet, actually.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. That's nice. People
Uh,
died a lot then too.
it was, I mean, people still die a lot here today. It
Yeah,
was,
yeah, yeah.
it was a night. I mean, what America's got? I think America, out of like the
Talent.
first
He's
world
got
countries or whatever,
talent.
has like the highest baby mortality rate.
No, we definitely have the highest infant mortality. I will not talk about birth again on this podcast.
Um, it was a night when the dead would walk the earth. Spooky,
Okay,
Woo!
so let's clarify that for a sec. Yes, the Celts believed that if you died during the year, you wouldn't cross over to the other side until November 1st, when the veil or the veil was the thinnest between the realms.
Yeah, like a portal would open essentially.
Yeah, so it was like a catch-22. People would pass over, but things you didn't necessarily want would come over to this side as well.
Yeah. Hey, you guys a fan of the band Sam Hain?
Never heard of them.
It's a Glenn Danzig project. No, you guys you guys obviously don't love dark metal.
I got nothing.
Yeah,
You should talk to Simon about that.
I mean,
I don't really like. I don't really like Danzig anyways. He's kind of a little douche, but whatever.
I wish I had like a cricket noise to fill in that gap, but I don't know.
This is like night swimming again. Like I bring up an REM song and no one knows, no one's seen the video. Night swimming.
So even though the deceased returned for general mischief and crop ruination, there was a bright side to it. The Celts felt the presence of otherworldly spirits was favorable for matters of divination amongst druids and Celtic priests, particularly ones considering marriage, health, and death. This was a sort of comfort for the coming winter, as the society was largely dependent upon the natural order of the world to function.
I mean, marriage and death are kind of one and the same, so that's
Oh yeah,
probably like the same.
I can attest to that. Marriage and death are very similar. You get a party that has nothing to do with you,
Yeah.
and
So Max, you didn't really like your wedding then?
actually, I'm sorry. I actually had a really good time at my wedding, but a wedding, the people mistake what a wedding is for. A wedding is not for the people getting married; it's for everyone else. Just like
Yeah,
a
kind of like a
funeral.
funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
So
is.
there you go. There's your connection between marriage and death.
There it is. We got it.
That is why
I'm gonna play Sam Hain at my funeral.
That is why I have successfully ruined 3 weddings throughout the course of my life.
I've ruined a lot more.
So all of the weddings that I've been a best man to, they've gotten divorced.
Ooh.
So I'm just gonna hire you.
And there's been
my best
more than
man.
one wedding. I won't say how
Oh.
many, but more
Oof.
than one wedding that I was the best man for.
You are the
Each
kiss
of them got
death.
divorced.
Oh. Oh.
So what is known about rituals during this time came from Irish monks, and it like Ken over here, and it consisted of feasting, guising, animal sacrifice, and of course drinking, because they're Irish. So of course it had to be drinking. The bones of the sacrificed animals were tossed into bone fires, which in time came to be known as bonfires. That's interesting.
My God, I love that.
I didn't know that's where that bonfires came from.
I didn't know that either.
Bonfires would be lit on the hill of Telachka.
Telchka.
It's
Again,
Celtic,
it's
so
It's Celtic, so it probably doesn't sound anything like it's spelled.
Tlachtga in the county of Meath on October 31st, named after the daughter of the famous druid Mugruth.
It
That
is
is
Telchka.
that is a
Telchka.
name.
That's right.
The more prominent Neolithic site, Hill of Tara, would light another one in response.
Ooh.
Then someone would yell, "Where was Gondor when the Westfold
Gonna
fell?"
say that.
Um, and and someone would start.
Oh my goodness.
It's
That's such
literally
a
like the
good scene.
beacons of fucking
I
Gondor
love
being lit.
I love the beacon of God. That's one of my I repeat that scene. It's so cool. They light the fires on the hill.
Yeah, because they're calling in Rohan, the people that actually do shit in the realm.
Oh God, I love the Rohirrim. They're the best.
When the celebrations were over, hearths would be lit from the sacred bonfires to offer protection during the cold winter,
Love it.
which makes sense, right?
I just put
Fire,
something
warmth.
together, Alex, by the way.
What?
Were you the best man at Simon's wedding?
Maybe.
Was Simon married?
Yes. Yes, and it was not a good marriage.
Wait. Alex, was Max the best man at your wedding too?
I
No.
think it meant the other way around, but no, I had a co-best men, and
No, but it could have been another notch in my belt if I was.
Yeah.
He's
Look.
like, this time they lasted 10 years. Just
Yeah,
puts it up on the wall.
I will say that as far as I know, my marriage was technically better than his. So
Then Simon's?
yeah,
I
you didn't
could,
even know he's married.
yeah, well, all right. Simon
That
talks about.
boggles my mind because when he started living with you, Ken, I think he was still technically married.
He
Listen,
was.
I'm pretty
was.
sure he's told me that he's married, but I listen to what people tell me
Was married.
about.
They have definitely officially divorced by now,
Yeah.
I think.
No, he got the paperwork done while he was living with us. So.
I listen to about 50% of the information that people talk to me about, and the other half of it's like filling in the gaps with shit like Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, "Listen, I just want to let you know that your Spider-Man 2 has died," and and then I'm like, "Oh shit, I gotta go check on my PlayStation."
Oh man, I can't take Spider-Man seriously after Spider-Ham, and there's the thought that all Spider-Man does is just shoot ropes.
Dude, John Mulaney as Spider-Ham,
Oh, so
fucking
good.
fantastic. That is great
Yeah,
casting right there.
it
Have you
really
guys
was.
seen the newest one?
Yeah, it's good.
What,
Yeah,
Across
it
the
is.
Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with Across the Spider-Verse is that it really does feel like it just ends. I feel like I watched half a movie.
What I am thoroughly convinced is that they were gonna do one movie.
Yeah.
I am thoroughly convinced
Yeah.
that they were doing one movie, and then when they got into the editing room, they realized
They had a lot of extra stuff.
they had a lot of extra stuff, and so they basically decided to edit it and then maybe like within the next year like change things that they had to change. But I really think they tried to do one movie and then when they were in the editing room realized that they had enough for two movies. And so it just because it is a
Yeah.
very amateur edit. Like it's
Yeah.
like a college movie edit where it just like
Yeah.
it just ends. Like it just
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah, it's like Breaking Bad, but you don't know when the next fucking episode is gonna come out.
Or it's
Well, next
it's like The
year.
Sopranos.
I think it's coming out next year. I think they already
Wow.
said that it was going to be
I
released a
liked
year
Punk
after.
Rock Spider-Man. That was who I liked.
Oh, I did
But
like him. Yeah.
Yeah.
so, just like broken marriages, even though the deceased loved ones could reappear, evil spirits and non-human entities could arrive as well. Sometimes they're one and the same thing.
Woo.
These included elves, fairies, the wee
Fairy
folk, which are those just like little people that go around.
We've
fucking
literally
shit
done
up?
2 episodes on this. In fact, the
Yeah.
last episode we did was last week.
But I
On
don't
the
think we
wee
talked about
folk?
the Wii
Yeah.
I know
folk.
who elves and fairies are. Who are the wee folk?
They just clump them all in with the same thing. The Celtic don't care.
They're like
Okay,
leprechauns.
and those who felt wronged in death. Therefore, the
Oh.
practice of guising was developed as a way to deceive such beings, which I would
Leprechauns.
assume one of those things is wearing your clothes inside out,
Yes.
because that really disguises you. But the Celtic folk would darken their faces with ash from the bonfires, and yes, this is a separate thing than blackface, an attempt to hide from spiritual entities. Eventually, this evolved into wearing masks.
Oh my
I
god.
hope. Oh God. I hope no one went blackface during this, because
You know
that
what?
should be really offensive. Because they
That's
didn't
it.
encounter any black folk.
For Halloween, I'm just gonna be like, no, guys, I'm an ancient Celtic person.
I think that's a
Oh
great
yeah,
idea.
let's
Go out
see.
just
You
like
let
that.
us know how that works
Wonderful,
out
yeah.
for you.
Yeah. Oh God.
Although you live in Utah, so people are probably going to be like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, we got a club over here you can join. Like, whoa, hold on.
Yikes! Yikes!
It's not even a club. They're like, "Yeah, we got a clan. We got a clan over here you could join." It's basically
Ooh.
just like a fraternity of brothers.
Yeah. White guys.
So by 43 AD, the Roman Empire had conquered the majority of Celtic lands, and over the next 400 years, two Roman festivals were intertwined with Samhain. The first was
Samhain?
Verlia.
Oh, Samhain? I don't know.
Well, no, he put the pronunciation, which is why I'm saying it
I know. I
Samhain.
know. But every time I see it, all I can think of is Glenn Danzig.
So the first was Feralia, a day when the Romans celebrated the dead. The second was a day to honor Pomana. Pomana?
Probably
Pomona?
Pomona.
Yeah, it's
Pomona.
gonna be Italian, so yeah.
Pomona? Pomona? The
Well,
Roman goddess
if
of
it's
fruit and
Italian,
trees.
just call her pizza.
And I would assume if she's the goddess of fruit and trees, she's also the goddess of like babies and shit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Her symbol was an apple, and the celebration of Pomona is likely the origin of bobbing for apples on Halloween. So,
Boom.
what did you guys learn about the origin of Halloween's? Because I did not know any of this, other than like the few like Roman stuff. I
Yeah.
knew some of that.
Let's see.
Honestly, the bonfires was probably the coolest thing. And,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
and like the original origin of like costumes on Halloween.
Yeah,
kind of
like
enthralling.
this confirmed my theory about bobbing for apples, though. Do you
What?
guys remember my theory for bobbing? It's just teaching girls how to give BJs.
Oh, and men.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
and
sorry.
men-
It's teaching
it's
people how
Rome.
to give BJs. You're right.
You know,
I should be inclusive on that.
Rome
I mean,
can
yeah, the
give
ancient
all the
Romans used to love
BJs they
lathering
want.
up little boys, get them all
That's a good
greasy,
point.
make
think
them
you're thinking
wrestle
of
naked.
The Greeks, but the Romans did like that too.
Yes,
You know,
little boy, wrestle in my jello.
I've decided I'm racist against the Greeks now. By the way,
Dude, I feel like every time we do an episode, you're racist against a new group of people.
Yeah, last week it
Okay.
was the Canadians.
it was also the Irish. You know, what I realized in all this, I just don't really like white people that much.
Yeah, well,
Eh,
it happens.
I know.
We haven't really done all that good in the world.
You need to go
No.
watch Paddington. Okay, there is good in everyone.
Paddington.
This guy's been pushing Paddington.
You know what
all
would
of
be a
us.
great crossover then? Paddington and Hitler, where Paddington teaches Hitler the good in all people.
No, I don't want to have a fucking Paddington and Hitler like crossover.
I think
Look.
Taika Waititi wrote that film.
Uh,
No,
I don't know, man. That film is so sad.
Have you Jojo Rabbit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jojo
it is a
Rabbit
It's a
was.
tough. It's like as a dark comedy, it's a tough movie to watch. It's really good. I suggest everybody watches it.
It is one of the best films I've seen in the last decade. Like, it is one of my favorite newer films. I also got to say that Our Flag Means Death is kind of like that, just a little lighter. Whereas instead of Hitler, he's Blackbeard.
Oh yes, I did not watch the full first season, but yes,
Oh, it's so amazing.
it's a very
so
good
good.
show,
Yes.
especially with Reese Darby. Yeah, no, dude,
Oh god.
so
And
good.
Blackbeard as a gay pirate who's always wearing belly shirts. Oh, love it.
Guys, if you like JoJo's Bizarre Hitler Adventure and fucking Our Flag Means Death, then I have the greatest movie on the planet for you. Paddington.
that?
Is it-
Paddington is
Oh my
fucking
god,
amazing.
how did I fall into that? That was oh my god. I don't know how I fell into that so easily.
I legit thought he was gonna say Thor: Love and Thunder.
But you know what? Go ahead and
Yes.
follow it with Paddington 2, because very rarely is there a sequel that's better
Oh,
than the
God.
first one.
Well,
Dude.
I'm really glad you bought that and put it on the Voodoo because now I can watch it for free.
Yeah, both of you
um,
can.
all right.
Yeah.
So speaking of Paddington, we'll get into All Saints Day, All Souls Day, Soul Cakes, and the naming of Halloween.
Soul
Because
cakes. That sounds
Paddington is a
good.
saint. That's the connection that I'm making
Yeah,
there.
no, I got
Paddington
that
is
one.
a
Yeah,
saint.
he is a
Um,
saint.
so in 609 AD, Pope Boniface the Fourth
Boniface. Boniface. I think he was a horny
dedicated
pope.
May 13th to the honor of all Christian martyrs, and the Catholic feast of All Martyrs' Day was established. Pope
Typical.
Gregory III later expanded that date to include All Saints and moved the date to November 1st, thereby establishing All Saints' Day. By the 9th century, Christianity had spread like wildfire, or a virus, or a plague, or take your pick of adjectives through the Celtic lands. Like anything that's destructive. Because wildfires are good for like nature, right? Like the natural order of things, destroys, brings new
Yeah,
life. It's not really what
but
Christianity did,
before
but
climate change, they were really good, but now they're really bad.
You know,
um,
I never really understood the rise of Christianity. I mean, I get it, but one of the core tenets of the belief is thou shalt not kill, until they went, well, yes, except for fuck those guys in particular over there. And they
I think
started the Crusades across the entire fucking
I
land.
think I think that the hypocrisy of the Catholic Church and Christianity in general is something that we could discuss on ad nauseum.
yeah, it's true. But there's a lot of religions like that.
No, it's absolute every single religion is like
So I
that.
mean that has more of a like power dynamic to it than like the
Ex-
religion itself.
except for the chosen people, and we've been oppressed for 10,000 years.
This is true. This is
Yeah.
why the one religion that actually makes sense in this world is Scientology. Because
Oh my.
at least it's a giant alien being that doesn't exist.
Same with Mormonism, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we all know Jesus was American.
Well,
Not only it's gotta be.
not only was he American, he died on another planet and became Jesus of this planet.
Because there were definitely white people during Jesus's time in
Oh yeah,
America.
I love white Jesus. He's my favorite.
I mean, if Jesus was American, then he was probably like a lost Viking.
I imagine if Jesus was American, he was probably like
Oh, the
Bill
Mormons
Clinton.
legit believe he's an alien who ended up
Interesting.
in America. Yeah, that's when you are a Mormon and you die and you're a man, you get to be the Messiah of another planet.
Oh, really?
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah! I'm about to fucking Jim Jones another planet.
Yeah, and then your wives come with you. They don't get their own planet. They come with you.
I'm converting to Mormonism.
Oh yeah, worlds without number.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I might become a Mormon. Okay.
Dude, read the Book of Mormon. It's a terrible book, but a good read.
All right. So, like we said, 9th century Christianity had spread like wildfire. Likely an attempt to supplement Celtic holidays with sanctioned ones, the Catholic Church created All Souls Day on November 2nd. And this was celebrated roughly the same as Samhain, with bonfires, feasts, and dressing up as saints, angels, and devils. So,
Now,
like Ken said earlier, this is where I'm assuming where we get kind of like the costume aspect of.
Yeah.
no, the costume came from the Celtic
Celts, right?
blackface.
Yeah.
Um, that w-
Is that what we're calling it now?
No,
Just the
I don't.
Celtic
I think
blackface?
they probably
Is
just
that
took some ash
we're
and went
just
like
taking
this.
out any nuance to that whatsoever?
I don't think that they went full blackface. That was probably even frowned upon back then.
well, no, because I
No,
don't think there was
no,
any.
no, it
I think there
wasn't.
was only white people in Ireland back then. So technically,
Tell-
it couldn't have even been racist.
You talk to my friend who's black and Irish, and he'll tell you something different.
Well, yeah,
Um,
nowadays.
so we had All Saints Day on November 1st, and then on November 2nd, All Souls Day. So Ken, did they do both holidays,
Okay,
Catholic Church.
or
so
did they transfer?
this is where it gets confusing. Basically, and we're gonna break down the timeline in the exact next paragraph, but The Roman Catholic Church tried to absorb Samhain, essentially Halloween, into All Souls Day and move it to November 2nd.
Okay, so they didn't do both. They tried to move it and make it all encompassing. Okay.
Yes, but what we're going to quickly find out is even though they have usurped many, many, many traditions from the Celts, Halloween was immovable.
Oh yeah.
It,
So
This isn't like Christmas. This is like for reals.
yeah,
yep.
it,
So All Saints Day became All Hallows or All Hallow Mass. And then the night before that was called All Hallows Eve or just Hallows Eve, the traditional night of Samhain, so November 1st. No, October 31st, right?
yeah, so basically the timeline is this. November 1st is All Saints Day, November 2nd is All Souls Day. The night before November 1st was All Hallows or All Hallow Mass. But that got shortened to All Hallows Eve or just Hallows Eve, which then became
Da, 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 da.
Halloween.
Halloween, baby.
Woo! Good job.
And that's how
Um,
we got that name.
so this change created a different atmosphere for Samhain, as the new holiday was focused primarily on vigils, fasting, and prayer in preparation for the next day. Basically, Halloween sucked balls.
Sounds
It was
about
like
right.
Easter or Christmas Eve
They
for anybody that's
really
Catholic.
they really almost dumbed it down, but there are two ingredients that bring Halloween back, and we're going to talk about them here
Love it.
because
It's fucking weird as fuck.
this is a cutout moment. Alex, what's going on, bud? I think
Oh, what
Alex
happened?
found an actual ghost.
No. I had something coming through the fax machine.
A fax machine?
It's just like
Yeah, I don't.
your podcast sucks.
We don't need to talk about it on air.
You have a fax machine?
All right.
Why do you have
Like
a fax
one that
machine?
spits out paper?
You know they have this thing called email nowadays, right?
Well, also you can get faxes over email.
Yeah, or Kinkos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a fax machine. Fucking
What
suck
is it?
it up.
Right next to your fucking telegraph?
Yeah,
He's got a telegraph. He's got a telex that he gets.
I got one of those
signals
little
on.
phones that's got the wheel dial
Yeah,
number on it.
a rotary phone.
A
Yeah.
rotary phone.
Rotary phone taught me how to do tone dialing. I wish
And
Dane were
all
here.
of that is next to right outside my window, my smoke signals. My fire
Alright.
pit that I create smoke signals with. Okay,
Are
so
these are we just magic pictures to you, Alex? That voices in your head that you hear about once a week?
yeah,
Yep.
pretty much, right?
Yep.
Can you
That's it.
imagine if I like went to go like listen to these episodes and it's me just doing 3 different voices?
And you're like, and somehow I'm still the special guest as you're talking to your therapist.
Oh my God. Is this Fight Club?
This could be
Dude,
Fight Club.
could be Fight Club.
I mean,
All right, so not of all the old ways had died out during the time period though. Bonfires were still lit, but now they were dedicated to Christian heroes or, Christian people. Furthermore, the turning of seasons were still observed, but now it was dedicated to the glory of Christ in the form of nasty crackers. The biggest addition, though, was the practice of souling. The port of the city or town would go door to door asking for a soul cake, also known as a soul mass cake, in exchange for prayers. This was done in response to purgatory, where it was believed that the deceased stuck in limbo could be advanced to the next tier through prayer. If this sounds vaguely familiar, that's because this is the origin of trick or treating.
it's important to differentiate this because
Trick or treating.
people might think of this as the origin of trick or treating. It is not. There is a reason why we say trick at the end of or at the beginning of trick or treating. This is merely just the treat. The soul cake of kids going door to door within the Catholic homes was benign. It was just simply like, hey, I'll pray for your relatives so they can get out of purgatory. Um, and in return, will you give us some money or food? You know, there is no trick in that. The trick does come later, though.
Oh, good.
All right. So basically, if you're thinking to yourself, sort of sounds like Halloween, kind of a shitty version of Halloween. That's basically because you'd be right. And we needed two things to get Halloween where it is now today. One, a dude named Guy Fawkes. Another,
Oh,
a little place called America.
can I do the Guy
See,
Fawkes
now when we
rhyme?
edit this, if we could just add in the sounds of bald eagles crying in the
Ooh,
background
caw, caw.
and maybe like some cannonballs, that would be
Yeah, absolutely.
fantastic.
And just
Can I do
Trump
the
yelling,
Guy
"You're
Fawkes
fired."
thing? Can I
You
do the
want to
Guy
talk
Fawkes
about
thing?
Guy Fawkes?
No, but can I do the rhyme?
All right, what's
Oh,
the
yeah, go
what's the
ahead.
rhyme? Yeah.
Remember, the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason. Oh, God, the last part I don't remember. Hey, I
Well,
got it,
you
though.
didn't fucking remember
I-
the 5th of November then. You
It's
were-
remember the 5th of
The 5th of
November.
November. Gunpowder, treason, and plot. Or chant. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
remember,
Yeah.
remember, half of the 5th of November.
I forgot the last fucking stanza. I love Guy Fawkes. I love this guy. He's a fucking
Yeah.
okay. He's a
Remember,
Catholic, but
the
he's an
5th of
anarchist.
November. Gunpowder, treason, and plot. If you can't
Yeah.
give us one, we'll take two. The better for us and the worse for you.
Yes, but you know
Yes.
what? I got to say, I love this guy. I watched Gunpowder on HBO, the BBC production, and actually, Guy Fawkes is kind of not very much into this plot, but it's a good show.
Oh, no, there's like a way longer version of this. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't realize it was this long.
I only remember the part that's in V for Vendetta.
All right, I'll read the whole thing. Remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. I
That's
see
the
no
word.
reason why gunpowder treason should ever
Oh my
be
God.
forgot.
Oh,
Guy Fawkes, 'twas his intent to blow up the king in the parliament, 70 barrels of powder below, poor old England to overthrow. By God's providence he was catched with a dark lantern and burning match. Holler boys, let the bells ring. Holler boys, God save the king.
I also heard
Oh.
Guy Fawkes when he came across like London, and they were like, "Hey, you know, all you got to do is walk through the gates of London." He tried to grapple hook across like the rogue that he is,
Oh my God.
No, this
and
one's even longer.
failed considerably.
Don't read the whole thing, Alex.
I'm not going to.
No,
It's
no.
all fucking monarchy propaganda. It's Protestant propaganda against the Catholics and against the anarchists.
And he has been burned or been kicked out or burned down every tavern he's been in, apparently.
If anyone is curious, Kirby is talking about a character he created for D&D. Who is the best rogue who ever lived?
Guy Fawkes?
Yeah, I got to
mean,
give him credit.
That's not even debatable.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think it just goes with the. So I would love to do a whole episode on the gunpowder plot because Guy Fawkes is only like one little part of it.
Yeah, we can talk
This-
about the gunpowder plot.
This other guy named Robert Catesby was like the real mastermind behind it, and he died in a fire because he fucking didn't care.
Alex, you ready?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. So, Guy Fawkes Day. In the 17th century, an event occurred that would have rippling effects for modern Halloween. On November 5th, 1605, a group of dissident Catholics tried to assassinate the Protestant King James I of Britain. This was known as the Gunpowder Plot. Though it failed, one of the conspirators, a man by the name of Guy Fawkes, who caught below the House of Lords with a shit ton of explosives.
He was so close too, so close.
Though he had co-conspirators, his name became synonymous with anarchy.
It did.
The 5th of November then became known as Guy Fawkes Day, and it was celebrated by Protestants as triumph over popery.
Popery. It's
Popes.
popery. They called them popists.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was a lot of, like, we talk about the Catholics and how horrible they were. The Brits were burning them at the stake too. So, the Protestants at least.
well, I don't really trust anything that the Brits have to say.
Churches
Right,
were
especially
fucking metal back in the day.
Yeah,
Though-
especially the fucking English monarchy. Do not trust them at all. Everything that came out about Guy Fawkes is monarchist propaganda against the papists.
So, though the government claimed it was a celebration of Providence sparing the king, basically they condoned what came next. This
Yes.
festival was completely fucking rad. Just, you know, fucking
Okay.
skulls on things and heavy
have-
metal playing in the background. And
I have a bone to pick with that, but it's okay.
And
All
no,
right.
it was completely red because this was the day the Protestants like. Let's take religion out of the equation
No,
for a second.
they went on a genocide against the Catholics.
Yeah, no, well, no,
They did. That's
we're
why they
not.
were trying to blow up
it
the
was
House
like
of
it was
Commons.
fucking rad. Oh,
We're,
genocide.
we're not
Yeah,
talking
easy.
about Jesus. We're not talking about genocide. We're talking about Guy Fawkes Day, the one day a year.
Which was anti-papist propaganda.
So who gives a fuck? It was still an awesome festival. This is
I-
like saying, okay, yeah, back then this is what happened. We should not condone them for what they did. Well, that's history, buddy.
No. We should. Okay. I'll just end. I'm not even going on it. I'll just say that they had a really good reason to want to blow up every single person who was in the House of Commons. They
I
had
don't
very good
even
reason.
know whose side you're on, because
I'm on Guy Fawkes' side. I'm on
then
the
you would
gunpowder
totally
plot
be
side.
with this festival.
No,
Because
it's anti-Catholic. They were Catholic.
no, Guy Fawkes is Protestant, bro.
No, he was Catholic.
Wait,
I'm
hold on.
sorry. You said it in the outline.
Yeah, no. He's Catholic.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. But take your feelings of Guy Fawkes out of this. Take religion out of this. It's all bullshit anyways. It's fight between the Protestants and the fucking Catholics.
Oh
So,
gosh,
what was this festival?
guys, watch Gunpowder. Just watch
It was
Gunpowder.
anti-Catholic sermons were given, bonfires were lit, fireworks were set off, people feasted and drank, and vandalism occurred on Catholic houses and businesses.
Like I would just do this just to do it. That sounds cool.
I absolutely am with you on that. I would do this any day of the week. I would go full black metal and burn down churches, be a church burner. But in this context, it is monarchist propaganda.
Oh my god.
During the celebrations, children would don masks or costumes and grab wheelbarrows holding an effigy of Guy Fawkes.
Burn
The
'em.
kids would then knock on the door of Catholic homes and demand sweets or money. If they
my
were
God, that's
refused, they
horrible.
would threaten vandalism.
That's horrible.
I'm surprised that they didn't threaten to like blow up the buildings. I mean, that would really be keeping in with Guy, like,
Like getting
know.
revenge on Guy Fawkes. If we're gonna blow up
Not
your
getting
fucking church.
revenge, but like, if you're walking around with effigies of Guy Fawkes and someone refuses to give you candy or money, I mean, why is it vandalism? You would think in honor of Guy Fawkes they would plant explosives in
Well,
these
it's not-
people's
it's not-
homes.
It's not
They're
in
making-
honor of Guy Fawkes.
They're making fun of Guy Fawkes, but yeah.
Well, even better then to start
Yeah.
blowing up Catholic
Actually,
homes.
technically,
I think-
this is very Guy Fawkes of what they're doing because it is complete and utter anarchy for that night.
Technically, they weren't anarchists in the sense of like whatever. I cannot. The history on this is I did a deep dive a few weeks ago, and it's fresh in my mind, so I'll let it go.
Okay, so just like how Max is letting this die out for right now, the practice of Guy Fawkes Day also died out during the American Revolution. It set the groundwork for the trick in what would later become trick or treating.
Oh,
All
go
right,
America,
so
USA.
we already discussed it a little bit, but Max, I'm going to give you a quick chance, since this is technically our discussion part on Guy Fawkes Day.
Okay.
Give you a quick chance to kind of
All right.
set the record straight.
So okay, I'm gonna say that the Catholics at this time were pretty awful too. The Spanish were in the middle of the Spanish Inquisition, but at the same time in England, the king that came to power was vehemently anti-Catholic and was torturing Catholics, and Guy Fawkes himself was meant to be drawn and quartered for treason, but he was able to jump when they were hanging him and broke his neck. Thank God. But everyone else who was involved in that plot, they drew and quartered, which is a bad thing. And then, but even before that, they were torturing Catholics throughout England. Like the Protestant monarchy was really, they were stomping out Catholics. There's still a lot of anti-Catholic sort of rhetoric in England because they invented a new form of Christianity so that a king could fucking divorce his wife.
And
I'm
yet,
done.
counterpoint. Here's how I view the situation. I don't take sides because this is two fucking churches squabbling, and both of them suck anyways because this fucking country was made on Protestants, and they're the reason why we are so fucking anti-sex to this day. So,
Oh no,
fuck the
I agree.
Protestants and fuck the
Fuck the Protestants.
Catholics for touching little boys.
It-
Fuck both of them.
Okay. In any situation, I'm going to take the part of the downtrodden, and the Protestants in this case were never downtrodden. So
Yeah, but neither was the Catholic Church. It's the fucking Catholic Church.
the Catholic Church in England was, which meant that Catholics in England, which are everyday people, not the Catholic Church.
Yeah, we all know that the Catholics were selling their children for science experiments.
Yeah, look, the way I would
Monty
see it,
Python taught me that.
imagine you put lions and tigers into the same cage and throw some fucking meat in. That's how I view this.
Yeah, there you go. Dude, Meaning of Life, one of the greatest movies ever made.
Every sperm is sacred.
Although I do have to say The Life of Brian is pretty good too, because one of my favorite scenes in The Life of Brian is when they're all having the town hall meeting about trying to get the Romans out.
So fucking funny.
And one of them is like, "Yeah, what did the Romans ever do for us?" And one of them in the front seat's like, "Well, I mean, they brought roads. Roads are pretty useful." And they like go through all the entire list of all of the modern amenities that Romans brought to England.
Aqueducts and toilets. I mean,
yeah, dude, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I love that shit movie.
All right, so Halloween finally comes to America.
Woo.
Which didn't happen until the Irish were displaced in 1845.
Go Catholics.
They brought with them their celebration of All Hallows Eve, All Saints Day, All Souls Day, whatever you want to call it. And this brought the practice of souling and an infusion of folk traditions such as the jack-o'-lantern. Now, if you remember in our Will-O-Wisp episode, jack-o'-lanterns were essentially based off of the folktale of Stingy Jack, a ghost banished from heaven and hell and forced to wander the earth with a hollowed-out gourd containing a burning ember.
Yeah.
The Celtic believed that carrying... Oh, go ahead, Max.
No, just good callback on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice job, Ken. Yeah, you really do a good job with these outlines, I will say.
You do.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
Anytime.
The Celtic believed that carrying a jack-o'-lantern on a Halloween would ward off evil spirits when they went souling at night. So it was like a protection type thing. Jack-o'-lanterns were initially gourds that were hollowed out and carved into faces with a candle placed inside to represent the ember. However, they were eventually replaced with pumpkins as these were easier to carve, or maybe it had something to do with capitalism. We'll never know.
Right. I think pumpkins were native to the Americas.
Nothing to do with... Okay.
You don't think that there was some pumpkin farmer out there with an agenda who lobbied for, fucking pumpkins to replace gourds?
Alex,
don't be naive, Ken.
Everybody has an agenda. It doesn't matter.
The pumpkins are native to the Americas, so maybe they were just easier to find. But I think the capitalist thing is better.
And also easier to carve than fucking gourds. Sometimes a knife is a knife.
Rockefeller.
It was Rockefeller. It was the Hearsts, I swear.
It was Henry Ford. It was the cabal of all of them. All right. So with the basics of Halloween in place, traditions of Guy Fawkes Day attached themselves to it. And it evolved once again. Basically, children would go to door wearing masks, asking for treats, or threatening vandalism on October 31st. I love how it was just like, yeah, you don't give us candy, we're going to fuck up your house.
I like the American version of this more, by the way.
This was trick-or-treating in the purest form, though now it was indiscriminate as who got vandalized.
Exactly.
So it wasn't just for Catholics.
That's what we do here. We'll fuck with anybody.
Yeah, well, that's America for you.
Actually, that's like the perfect sentence to summarize America. We'll
fuck with anyone.
Give us shit or we'll break your shit, and we don't care who you are.
Also, I mean, there has to be some sort of like appropriation of like Native American stuff because they were growing the pumpkins, and we were like, well, we're gonna use those pumpkins for a holiday.
Well, maybe like the Native Americans tried to be capitalists.
Oh God, I hope they ripped off every fucking white guy who was here.
We have these great pumpkins.
Now that would be a fucking sketch in of itself.
That was the worst. It's the Native American
Ow.
impression I've ever heard. Don't try to do it again. It's so offensive, but that was so bad it wasn't.
That's staying in. Because, look, I'll work on it. It'll be better.
I'll work it.
Yes.
Yeah, don't do it again. I'm with Max on this one.
I mean, I could try it.
Who's
if you
gonna?
want.
Oh boy, who's gonna cancel us?
We were extremely misogynistic on the
Yeah.
last episode. We should probably at least go one episode without offending
We've
a group
always
of people.
been behind the indigenous peoples of America. I think
Listen.
from the very beginning.
For the first like 20 episodes, we talked about Nazis.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
we
but
also
we talked about how bad Nazis were.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
we talked about how punching a Nazi should be an experience that every child has.
By the way, I am behind the indigenous people of America. I think they've been royally screwed over by America.
We did 2 full series about that. Yeah.
Called the
Roanoke and then the other one.
In case you ever want to spend an entire weekend listening to something, go check out Roanoke because that's how long it is.
It'll make you realize how stupid rich white men are.
Or just anybody that's rich. Like, why do we gotta attach color to things?
Oh, because it's usually okay.
'Cause it's
Modern
usually
day,
white
yeah.
men.
But yeah, back then it was definitely just white men.
I mean, nowadays it's just rich assholes.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm with
most
you.
of them are white though.
Well,
That's true.
That is because of that is
Don't
because
finish that sentence.
standardization through the ages. It's not. I mean, that's
And-
not that
Oh
hard.
my god.
No,
Speaking of standardization,
Hold
the
on,
evolution of
no.
Halloween in America.
you guys, look.
Moving
you're
along.
not gonna let me. Look, I'm not. Hear me out. Hear me out. What I mean
Okay.
by the reason why the majority of them are rich white people is because the rich white people came over here and colonized America and installed themselves as old wealth,
Okay.
and that's why they're
Okay.
still here today, being
He's
rich
right.
assholes.
He's right. He's technically right.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah.
thank
you're
you for finishing that,
it's
Kirby.
Because
institutional. Rise-
otherwise, you
racist
guys are
level.
just gonna fucking call me a racist.
No.
No.
We're
Never.
just gonna call you a white loving motherfucker.
No.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I am definitely not that. I think
You-
everybody deserves a chance, just like Paddington said so.
Oh my god. All right.
You know,
so
the KKK didn't allow Catholics in for a long time.
just God, just fuck the KKK, just all around. Like Jesus Christ. All right. So just like how Paddington evolves throughout his movies, Halloween evolved in America. I really honestly didn't think this episode was gonna have so much to do with Paddington the bear, but that's okay.
Neither
I'm
did I.
totally there for it.
I'm down.
Trick-or-treating was getting out of control in the early 1900s. Kids were literally wrecking everything. Enter, stage left, Elizabeth Krebs, a native of Hiawatha, Kansas.
Hiawatha.
Hiawatha, Kansas.
I don't know how I know that, but oh no, I know it from Supernatural.
On November 1st, 1912, she woke up to find her garden vandalized.
Oh,
She grew tired of such shenanigans and decided to organize a way to deter the young folk from fucking up her town. So she was the original Karen. So on October 31st, 1913, with the hope of exhausting adolescents, she organized the first Halloween party. And guess what, guys? It did not work. The next morning, she went back to the drawing board and thought bigger.
I actually
October-
love Elizabeth Krebs because she
I mean,
really
it's
did.
a good idea.
She brought about this
Yeah,
spirit.
she just
of
wanted to
Halloween.
focus them, right? She
Yeah.
wanted to contain them. Yeah.
You know, she had the party and fed him booze instead, but like it's a good idea on the face of it.
Oh my God, can you imagine bobbing for apples in a bucket full of booze? That would burn so bad.
I think I've done it.
I think this
Ugh.
is like your next
It's
Halloween
awful.
party there, Alex. Till someone dies and
Yes.
you're bobbing for apples.
Oh, and then I can be featured on an episode of Bones.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
And then Temperance Brennan will show up and be like, "That's not Bones. That's
Wait.
just a drowned person in booze.
So
I
Bones
I
has
shouldn't be here."
Bones has nothing to do with Star Trek.
Nothing.
No. Oh God, we talked about this last time. No, that's Dr. McCoy, whose name is
All right.
Bones because his ex-wife
So-
took everything but his bone.
On October 31st, 1914, she threw a festival that involved the entire town.
Yeah.
She brought in a band, held a costume contest, put on a parade, and this
Yeah.
worked. And stories of her success started circulating through the newspapers. Other towns and cities began throwing their own Halloween festivals with music, parades, food, dancing, costume contests, and of course, decorations of ghosts and ghouls. Miss
Love it.
Krebs is now, oh, excuse me. Miss Krebs is now known as the mother of Halloween, as she completely impacted and changed how America celebrates the holiday.
Oh, love it.
Her party mindset did not initially catch on though, and Mischief Night was still considered a nationwide problem, even in Canada.
Even
Ken,
in
do you have something
Canada.
to say about that?
Yeah,
Ooh.
you know what? Canadians out there with their mischief and their hockey and maple syrup and their cold
And their
beer.
yes and please.
Yeah, and
Tim
their
Please and
Hortons.
thank yous.
sorry, eh?
Sorry.
Um, in
Sorry, eh?
1927, a newspaper in Alberta, Canada, published an article about children going door to door fucking shit up. And it was the
Sorry, your
first.
shit got fucked up, eh?
Speaking of which, so throughout this whole thing, you just keep saying like fucking shit up. Was it like classic, like, toilet
Oh,
paper on.
I think it was pretty bad, like fires and shit.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. It was like serious shit.
kids were
Yeah.
destroying the town
Like,
because
I
they
think, yeah, I
learned
think it
their
was.
shit from like Guy Fawkes Day, and they'd be like,
Yeah.
"Give us shit, or we're gonna break your shit."
Yeah.
So
Uh,
we can thank the Canadians for the term trick or treating, as in
Oh,
this
thank you.
1927 article, it was the first time it was published in written word, thereby cementing the phrase in all the glory of Halloween history.
I love it.
So
yeah,
thanks, Canada.
Thanks, Canada.
yeah.
You bring
Thanks,
us so many
Canada,
good things.
for giving
Thanks for
us
socialized medicine.
that cool Halloween tradition. You fucking
Yeah.
assholes.
Like, what else did Canada bring us?
With your Bryan
The paint
Adams.
roller
Hey,
and
We
peanut
got
butter.
we got Timmy Hortons now in America.
Yeah.
No, what? Shut the fuck up. Where?
Yeah. Yeah. I saw it in Buffalo, which is, I mean, it's definitely
Oh,
coming
that's
north, coming
basically
south.
Canada.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just ignoring Canada slowly taking over the U.S.
Though I will say that down south, like not south south, like south where I live, there was a Tim Hortons because I drive by it all the
Ooh.
time, but it's like clearly closed and boarded up.
Oh.
But it still has like all the signs and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of them in Buffalo now.
Listen
But-
here, Canada. We don't need your Canadian bacon and hockey sticks. Okay.
What? What are you talking
You
about?
take
dude?
that maple syrup and you
Canadian
send it,
bacon is
and
delicious.
you send it directly to my address.
What? You don't like little circular pieces of ham?
They've
No.
got. They're gonna have to send all the Canadian ham to where I
Well,
live,
I mean,
so I can personally inspect it.
I don't like
Do
that
you-
they call it bacon. It disturbs me.
I mean, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
probably
just call it Canadian meat
Yeah.
slabs.
Canadian ham.
Canadian
Yeah.
meat slabs. There you go.
Let's
Yeah.
see what Google says about the difference between ham and Canadian bacon.
Well, okay. Bacon comes from the belly of the hog, and
From
like
the back of the pig, specifically the loin, whereas ham comes from the hind legs of the pig, specifically the rear and
Yeah.
thighs.
And ham
but
comes
it's
from
cured
fucking
just like ham.
Canada, where they call it bacon.
Okay, this is getting a little convoluted,
Okay.
but yeah.
So, Halloween was interrupted in the 1930s by a sugar shortage resulting from World War One,
Ooh.
which cut the candy supply considerably.
Wow, we have just.
Interesting.
Yeah, here we are talking about the Nazis again.
This is
Well,
World
the
War One.
Nazis were in World War One.
I mean,
Yeah.
It saw a resurgence in the
That's the Kaiser.
1940s, and the current traditions of Halloween were mostly cemented in the 1950s, where it started to gain worldwide growth. Currently, Halloween is no longer attached to any particular religion. It is probably the closest I would say would be like what, the Wicca?
honestly,
I would actually say that the
Pagans?
no American Christians have tried to co-opt it by having like, you know, Halloween like horror houses. Wait, that came out wrong. But like Halloween like scary houses, but that's all with like sin and stuff, and like, you know, girls don't wear your skirts too high.
Well,
That's
that
another
sounds
thing
lame.
America's done.
But it is mainly more as a community festival, primarily focused
Yeah.
on the young, as well as a boon for business
fucking
and the
the
entertainment
Catholic
industry.
Church created
Capitalism, baby.
Halloween, and now they're trying to ban Halloween.
Well, I don't know if it's the
Who's trying to
Catholics.
ban
It's
Halloween?
more the evangelicals. They like to fucking do a lot of bullshit.
Look,
I mean, I'm sure actually if I talk to my lady friend, she probably has done this in her childhood. Go to one of those like church sponsored fucking scary houses things, and she's a Baptist or was a Baptist.
that's what I'm talking about. The church or any church of Christianity doesn't exactly condone Halloween, yet they're the ones that created Halloween in the first place
Yeah,
by moving All Saints Day uh, to November 1st and
this
making
is like
All Hallows Eve before that.
this has reminded me a lot of the Krampus episode.
Yeah. In fact, there's
Yeah,
a lot of those themes. I almost feel like we should do one for each holiday.
yeah.
Oh, I was
Like,
gonna
could we?
say I'm excited to know what the Christmas special this year is gonna be because I really liked Krampus.
We could talk about the Christian co-opting of Easter or Passover to Easter, but no, we don't need to do that.
I don't know.
That's in the spring, anyways.
We'll have to think about that one.
We'll figure
Yeah,
it
we'll
out.
think about
But
that one. We'll do a good one.
what's the meaning of Halloween? So some central themes of Halloween are transformation and hope. When Samhain was celebrated, everything was transformed. The days turned to night. Food got transformed into storables for the winter. Wood and dead grain became smoke, and people transformed into monsters. Boogada boogada boogada. Furthermore, the main deity associated with Samhain was the Morrigan, a goddess of war and fate. And in every one of her stories, she was transformative or leading her people to transform into something greater, which makes
Isn't
sense, right? It's like the changing of the seasons. So
isn't who's the bad sorceress in the Arthurian legend? Isn't it
Morgana,
Morgana?
It's
Yeah,
Morgana.
thank you.
yeah. Though the transformations may be terrifying, there is an underlining of hope in each of them. When we don the mask of werewolves, vampires, ghouls, etc., we become the thing we fear and therefore master that fear, if only for a night. Even the scariest of movies or TV shows, humanity finds a way to adapt and overcome, and this, at its core, is what Samhain is about. Humanity laughed in the face of darkness and cold, and that's why we are still here today. So go out there, raise some hell, bob for some apples, laugh at your fears, and believe and hope for just one night that humanity can adapt and overcome whatever darkness has been set before it, as our ancestors once did.
Ooh,
It's a nice sentiment, Ken.
I like that. Yeah,
I'm
and go
glad you
check
ended it on that.
Yeah.
out Dia de los Muertos. It's a lot of fun. I did that once in Southern California.
During
Check out
these
what?
The Day of the Dead, Dios de los Muertos.
these celebrations that ancient people used to have were in direct defiance of the gods themselves.
Yeah,
Because it would always come up that like when you're entering winter, you'd lose a good amount of people, and then you'd come out in spring and suddenly a lot of the people that you knew and loved had died.
yeah,
So stuff like Christmas, what it used to be, and Halloween were in a way of saying, bring the darkness on. We
yeah.
have endured and we will continue to endure. And whatever you throw at us, we will stay here for at least just one more fucking night. You know?
Yeah, I like that. Or just one more year. We're gonna be here for another year.
Yeah.
I like it.
Maybe you can get
Oh.
us next year.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
you could dress up as Baron Corbin and play his theme song, I Bring the Darkness, End of Days. It's his
Or
entrance theme, apparently.
you could dress up as fucking Danzig and get knocked out. You can see the link in our Twitch chat.
Or you could dress up as fucking Paddington and be kind and polite, and the world will be right, guys.
And bring love to everybody.
Everyone deserves a chance.
Okay, I'm
All
gonna
right.
watch both those movies tonight. Just
So
Doesn't
because
matter who they are or what nationality they
before
Paddington
we get
loves you.
into our goodbyes and shout outs, we're going to have something new at the end of every episode. So you can find an uncut version of the show on Twitch and YouTube. Complete audio and edited versions of the show can be found wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can join our Patreon, which is brand new at www.patreon.com/Crook Irish
It's a
Studios.
forward slash, but it's okay.
Oh, /Crook Irish Studios. My bad.
Sorry.
And if you're interested in learning more about any of the topics that we discuss, you can start by finding a list of our sources under the description of each episode on your preferred platform.
That's right, guys. We have a fucking Patreon now. So
Yeah.
if you want to go in there and support us, so that way we don't run ourselves into poverty doing this show, stop
late.
by Patreon and join our what is it, paid for subscription?
Well, no, we've got you can become a member and you'll get like special stuff for free. But if you pay $5 a month, I'll come over to your house and I'll punch you in the face.
Max will give you a foot rub personally. Holy shit. Hold on, guys. It looks like everything just dropped. Let me get that back up. Well, 1 second. Okay, here we go.
We just
You guys there? Can you hear me?
yeah.
Good. Cut that part out.
Okay, hold on. There we go. I was saying, can I give a shout out to our member?
Yeah, give a shout out to our member.
Okay, our first paid member is Karen Tobin, my mom, and thank you, Mom. I really appreciate it. I really hope she doesn't listen to any of this.
That's adorable. I hope your mom doesn't listen to us either.
She's a very
But
sweet lady.
it's very nice that she decided to become a paid member.
I
Yes,
know. I appreciate it.
go there and become a member. We'll give you free
Yeah.
stuff. If you become a paid member, Max will give you a foot rub for free.
But yeah, I will. I give him a mean foot rub.
Mean foot rub.
Learned it from my mom.
A shout out to John Zara. He allows us to use his YouTube music, Old Lang Syne, as our closing song. You can find our podcasts on all major podcast platforms. You can also find us on YouTube at Crook Irish Studios and on Twitch at Crook Irish. I don't think we have any mods today.
You got me talking shit in there, dude.
I guess you got Max Murder talking shit in there.
Yeah.
And is there any other shout outs you guys want to do?
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Max's mom.
Thanks, Max's mom.
Yeah, good
I
lady.
also I have a special shout out. I don't want to shit out there. I haven't really told you guys about this yet.
Oh God.
But it's been a big thing in my life recently.
Oh God.
I swear to God, if
I
this
know where
is
I know where he's going with this.
It's not what you think. It's not Spider-Man 2.
okay,
Okay.
But Paddington Bear, wherever you are out there, I just want to let you know you've been amazing. And if your third movie is as great as your first two, I will applaud you. Good sir, you've been a
they're not
fantastic
coming
bear.
out with a third Paddington, are they?
They are.
course they
Paddington
are.
in Peru.
Oh yeah,
Peru.
Paddington in Peru.
Does he
That's
get
where-
caught? Does he get caught at the airport trafficking cocaine?
But
Dude,
he's
that would be the
originally from
greatest
Peru.
Paddington movie ever.
Gets
You know
thrown
what?
into proving jail?
Paddington goes to
Paddington,
jail.
like at the end of the movie, dies in customs because the bags explode in his butthole and he overdoses.
Paddington, you know what? You guys haven't even seen Paddington, but he does go to jail in the second one.
Is it because he's body bagging fucking coke and condoms?
You guys don't deserve Paddington. You are a mark upon Paddington's good name. Good sir.
Okay, my kids will be here on Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna watch it with them.
Yeah, and then one day you'll join the Paddington Club.
Is that a Paddington like work group who writes him letters in his Peruvian prison? Sorry.
I'm going to return Paddington, just so neither of you
Oh,
can
no.
understand the joy and happiness that is that movie.
No, leave it. I'm gonna watch it, and I'm probably gonna start talking about him like you do.
Yeah, and then you're going to feel bad about it because you just talk shit about a bear that's just trying to be nice to everybody. Listen, Paddington, I will live by your virtue. Be kind and polite, and this world will be right.
Oh God. Okay. Woo!
That being said, I'm Kenny Crook Irish. Kirby, keep it weird out there.
I am Maxwell Murder, and if you are body bagging cocaine, I'm Maxwell Murder, and please don't try to smuggle cocaine anywhere, even if you're Paddington.
And I am special guest Alex.
That's
Goodbye.
GA.
You know what? If you guys are talking shit about Paddington, a curse upon all of you.
We're not
But-
talking shit
but
about
you know
Paddington.
what?
We're just
A fucking
talking shit about a
Halloween curse.
hypothetical Paddington that
Halloween
smuggles
curse.
cocaine. I
But-
don't.
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
A happy curse, because that's what Paddington would do. Because he'd still want you to be happy.
I think people that bring cocaine into America are bringing happiness.
I think you're being judgmental towards a bear. Let's.
What's in this? Oh my god.
Can you imagine if that Elizabeth Banks movie that came out, Cocaine Bear, was Paddington and not just like a wolf bear, like a black bear? Can you imagine if we did a movie like that?
I haven't seen that. Apparently, it's based on a true story.
Oh my god.
Yeah, except the true story is probably the bear did all that cocaine and then overdosed and died.
Yeah.
I didn't go on like a murderous rampage.
Yeah. I didn't know that was Elizabeth Banks. I haven't watched
Yeah,
that movie yet.
dude. Yeah, she directed it.
I hope you